Hey, it's Matt. Today I'm going to talk about turning your designs into parts orders using the different websites and part suppliers out there, including Lego and, of course, third parties. First off, you have to come up with a design. And once you've got the design, then you need to systematically figure out what the components are and what the parts are that goes into those components. Like, for example, here is the engine that I developed for the latest project I'm working on, a 69 Plymouth Roadrunner. Where I built it here, I wasn't worried about the colors because this is just sort of a test mule. But once I got the design worked out, then I had to figure out, okay, which parts am I really going to need and get the colors I need them in. And I did that for the whole car. Here's the dashboard out of it. Here's like a chassis floor member with one of the seats. So what I did was I went through and I broke the car down into different portions. The grille and fascia, the firewall, front fenders, exhausts, rear fenders, wheels. You see, I came up with 8 pages of notes. And what I did was I would write down the number, the color, and the part description. And also, if it was like kind of a special funky piece, I didn't know what it was, I would just kind of do a little sketch of it. From there, I transcribed these notes into Excel files. Because to do bulk ordering on certain Lego sites, you can upload Excel files or CSV files, which are related. In the case of the engine, all of this, all of that is what goes into this engine. It's hard to believe, but when you really break it down, that's what you got. Okay, say you've got your design figured out. This is for one of the seats. And you want to order parts because you're going to either offer kits as MOCs or you want to do it in a color that you don't already have. For example, I don't have black pieces like this or I would have used them. So I need to find out what these are. That's part of the equation, is to figure out what are these parts even called. I would call it a 1x1 special plate round or round brick. I don't know. But I found this fantastic app. It's called Brickignize at brickignize.com. And what you do is you just hit camera. You get your part on a nice background. Get it to focus, take the picture, and then you click use photo, and it does its thing, and voila. That's pretty cool. It's a slope curved 1x1 by 2/3 double. The other cool thing is it has a direct link to Bricklink, and it's got a part number. So it's 49307. On Bricklink, you can see the part. And Bricklink I found is a good sort of jumping off point. What I use it for is to then go to other websites I know, and it helps me determine the part numbers and the colors and the color numbers, etc. Another excellent site I've found is brickarchitect.com. And Tom Alphin, I believe his name is, put this together, and he did an excellent job of breaking things down by parts and then illustrating those parts and giving them names. Now, the funky thing about names in Lego is depending on who you are is how you name it. I have found lots of inconsistencies. So you're going to have to do some translating. So here I've transcribed my handwritten notes into an Excel file, and I've got things ordered by type, part number, element ID, color, which component it goes to, the description, other notes, sources, that kind of thing. Using Excel's filter feature, I can sort things by the color or by which sources I've found for different items to make my separate lists depending on the vendor. Speaking of vendors, I like to support Lego where I can, or domestic suppliers if they're around. And lastly, other third-party players, although they have an important role, and I appreciate them for making parts that exist in colors that Lego won't, or parts that Lego just doesn't make. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. One third-party company I found is webrick.com, who have apparently been absorbed by GoBricks. One of the things that attracted me to the webricks site is that they list the names and numbers of the colors and translate them for the various vendors and websites. Both webrick and MyGoBricks offer ways for you to upload an Excel or CSV file that you have to format per their instructions. In this case, I've created this CSV file with the part numbers for the vendor, the color numbers that they use, which are different than other people, plus the quantity. GoBricks does provide a color chart with the translation for color names and numbers per other vendors. One drawback to MyGoBricks is that you can only load around 100 items at a time, and that's all that will go into the cart. So they do allow you to make multiple purchases, and at first it looks like you're being charged for shipping for all of them, but if you send them an email and saying, hey, I did a bulk order, they all couldn't fit on one, and they will work with you, and they will they'll even give you free shipping if you buy like $70 worth, something like that. I found that these not available items shown isn't always accurate either, so make sure to check to see whether things that you ordered are in stock or not, and you might need to look at another vendor. One of those other vendors is ToyPro at toypro.com, and I just recently ordered some things from them that Lego was out of or I couldn't find elsewhere, so I had to use a combination. Now their claim is that all of the parts they provide are genuine Lego. I've ordered from them in the past, and they did a pretty good job. They're more expensive than other people, but I'm using them again. Keep in mind that although I've been showing bulk ordering techniques, all of the vendors will allow you to buy individual pieces a la carte. You just go and you choose the part and then you add it to your cart. Even if you're not buying anything, I really recommend going on the different sites and just taking a look at the parts. And the parts themselves will give you ideas, or it might come up with a solution for something that you were trying to design. You might find a part that had a different design intent, but its shape is perfect for what you want. For example, I found these hand mirrors that would work great as a side mirror on a car, and this other part would be perfect as a tachometer. To wrap things up, make sure you get down all the numbers you need. In Lego's case, they actually use an element ID number as opposed to other ones that use parts numbers and colors. I had no luck finding a good way to order Mega Bloks parts. Once you have your part numbers and quantities, I wish you happy hunting and good luck on your next build. If this information was useful to you, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. None of this content is sponsored, it's just my findings and my opinions, although I am open to sponsorship. Thanks a lot, y'all. Bye.